So, Stephanie, what were some positive and negative emotional effects?
Before my transplant, I had a lot of problems having independence. I would always fall down. I had low blood sugar. Sometimes I felt like a really bad mom because things got put on hold because of me. Sometimes I would be out with my kids and I would fall down and embarrass them. Sometimes I would be at work and the ambulance would be called on me. A lot of times my family didn't get to sleep because the ambulance would be at my house a lot. After my transplant, I've never had any of those incidents at all. So that's one of them that's kind of a positive effect. I also feel a little bit more independent after my transplant. I feel like I can go to work without worrying about someone picking me up or being alone with my kids without having them take care of me. I can take care of them instead of me being taken care of. So I feel more like a real mom now, I guess, and I'm a better worker, and that's kind of what's changed a little bit.
So, what were some positive and negative physical effects?
Before I had my transplant, I was always exhausted, especially because I was falling down a lot. I had low blood sugar often, and I was always testing my blood. I couldn't really go anywhere without having things with me. The people who had to go with me had to know what to do if something were to happen to me. We never got a lot of sleep in our house. That's one of them. I was sick more often. I would get sick just from having diabetes a little bit more. Not a lot of sleep, just more emotionally draining because you just are always worried about everything. Where after I had my transplant, I can go places without extra food with me. I don't have to test my blood. I can sleep a whole night without waking up and convulsing. My kids don't have to worry about me making a fool out of them or, falling down.
So, can I get an idea of how the waiting list worked for you?
Sure. They put you on the waiting list, and then when they get an organ, they call you. They didn't call me for 11 months. It's kind of hard to be on the waiting list because you just don't know when they're going to call. It could be any time. Sometimes they call and they tell you they have the organ, but then they change their mind. So it's kind of emotional to be on the waiting list. And then once they get you off the waiting list, they call you and say you need to be to the hospital within 8 hours. And then they get you to the hospital and they take you into a room and they start checking everything and making sure you're prepped for surgery. And they lower your immune system. So not a lot of people can be around you and they just get you ready for the surgery. I've had 3 transplants. My last transplant was the easiest. They actually, it was pretty simple, same thing, wait on waiting list, and then they put you onto this IV tube and then they go in through your liver, and the recovery was pretty easy. It wasn't so bad. I was in there for 5 days, and then after that I just went back to the hospital quite a bit after that.